In an NBA draft class full of talent, one name shocked everyone, not for what he did, but for what he didn't do. Ace Bailey skipped the draft workouts and still went number 5 overall. How did this happen? On June 25th of 2025, the commissioner steps up, clears his throat, and calls a kid who flat out skipped every workout, interview, and handshake session. You can imagine, yet still lands in the top 5. That, my friends, is Arius Ace Bailey. If the draft is a grand job interview, Ace basically ghosted the HR department and still got hired with a corner office. Buckle up, because we're unpacking how a teenager pulled off one of the boldest draft heists in recent memory, and why he didn't even want to land with the team that picked him. So, who is Ace Bailey? Let's rewind to Chattanooga, Tennessee, where Ace first picked up a basketball, looked at the rim, and apparently said, "Yeah, we're gonna be best friends." Even as a little kid, he ran faster, jumped higher, and talked less trash than everyone else, mainly because he was too busy scoring. Coaches called him Quiet Thunder. You never heard the storm coming until the scoreboard lit up. By middle school, he was blocking shots against kids twice his age. His family quickly realized they weren't raising an ordinary teenager. They were raising a future 6'10" problem for defenders everywhere. Think of him as the kid who shows up at recess with brand new sneakers and casually drops 40 points before the bell rings. Ace Bailey truly exploded after transferring to McEachern High in Powder Springs, Georgia. The guy averaged video game numbers, well over 30 points and 15 rebounds a night. Imagine being the poor soul assigned to guard him. Your only real strategy is hoping the scoreboard breaks. Highlights of him dunking, spinning, and swatting shots spread across social media faster than cat memes. Suddenly, every major college coach was camping out in the bleachers, bumping shoulders like Black Friday shoppers, fighting for a big screen TV. Some recruiting services even slapped the number 1 ranking on him for stretches of 2023. His nickname, Ace, stuck because, let's be honest, he was always the best card in the deck. Naturally, blue blood programs, think Kentucky, Duke, Kansas, lined up with full ride offers, rolling out red carpets and maybe a few blue ones for good measure. So what does Ace do? He zigzags past every powerhouse and commits to Rutgers. Yep, the Scarlet Knights. The collective basketball world did a double take, but Ace wasn't chasing clout. He wanted the freedom to build something new, rather than being just another cog in a big brand machine. Rutgers head coach practically hugged the nearest lamp post out of joy. Talk about a bold choice, kind of like turning down a shiny sports car because you want to refurbish a classic. Risky? Sure. But as we're about to see, Ace loves steering into risk. Once on campus, Ace wasted zero time proving the gamble was worth it. As a freshman, he threw up 17 points and 7 boards per game like it was a casual hobby. He dropped 39 on Indiana. Yes, 39, complete with a buzzer-beating 3 that sent Rutgers fans into orbit. Another night, he posted a 22-point, 12-rebound special against UCLA, as if coast-to-coast flights were just cardio. By season's end, he racked up all freshman honors, Big Ten accolades, and likely a few new nicknames we haven't heard yet. When the opposing student sections chanted "overrated," they usually fell silent by the second quarter. Ace was that good. If you're wondering what the hype is about, picture who glides like a guard, finishes like a power forward, and defends like a Swiss Army knife. Offensively, he feasts on catch-and-shoot threes, backdoor cuts, and coast-to-coast sprints. Defensively, he closes passing lanes with Inspector Gadget arms and still has enough spring left to swat layups into the cheap seats. Coaches love that he rarely forces shots. Well, unless it's crunch time, in which case, he forces his way onto the highlight reel instead. You can plug him into almost any lineup, and suddenly the floor looks wider, the rim looks smaller, and opposing game plans look like they were scribbled on napkins. Now, the fun part. Every spring, NBA hopefuls descend on Chicago, sprint through agility drills, and interview with teams while wearing suits sharper than Ginsu knives. Ace Bailey, he decided he had better things to do, like Well, anything else. No combine, no private workouts, no what 3 weaknesses will you work on as a professional interviews. When teams called, he hit them with the most polite, thanks, but no thanks, you've ever heard. It was as if he RSVP'd maybe to every wedding, but never showed. Analysts panicked. Fans argued even Paul George even hopped on a podcast to say, bro, you haven't earned diva rights yet. So, Ace Bailey's camp was allegedly steering him toward franchises offering immediate minutes, bright lights, and friendly offensive systems. Washington, Brooklyn, bigger markets, guard-heavy teams, that was the vibe. Utah, on the other hand, runs a slower pace in the mountains. Light on hype and heavy on altitude. Word spread that Ace ranked the Jazz somewhere below dentist appointment on his wish list. So he skipped their workout too, thinking they'll take the hint. Spoiler alert, they did not. The Jazz front office binge-watched his college tape, saw a 6-10 future star, and said, workout, schmork out. So here's the draft plot twist. Fast forward to June 25th. Picks 1 through 4 roll by, and Ace is still chilling in the green room, probably wondering which team's hat will best match his suit. Commissioner Adam Silver steps to the mic. With the 5th pick, the Utah Jazz select Ace Bailey. Cue the collective gasp. Ace's eyebrows nearly left orbit. Remember, he never shook a single Jazz hand pre-draft. Every camera zoomed in, waiting for a side eye or an awkward smile. Instead, Ace took a deep breath, buttoned his jacket, and headed to the stage like a pro. Turns out ghosting someone doesn't always stop them from calling you back, especially if your jump shot percentage is listed as scorching. So why did Utah pull the trigger? Simple. Upside so big, it wouldn't fit through the arena doors. They saw a two-way wing who could guard positions 1 through 4, score without hogging the ball, and run the break like a gazelle with Wi-Fi. In a rebuild, you swing for home runs, not singles. And Ace is basically a Louisville slugger. Jazz analytics loved his transition efficiency and budding three-point touch. Coaches drooled over his 7-foot wingspan. And let's be real, players this dynamic do not grow on Utah trees. Mostly pine. By the way, sure, he'd have to adjust to high altitude and an offense less flashy than Times Square, but the payoff could be franchise-changing. The Summer League in Las Vegas will be his first big test, and likely the hottest gym he's ever played in. Jazz coaches plan to unleash him with the greenest of lights, run the break, crash the glass, and hoist a few threes so they can gauge his range. They'll also hand him a protein shake and a weight room key card, telling him to add 10 pounds of grown man strength before the season tips off. If he hits the ground sprinting, he could be starting by New Year's. If he stumbles, Utah can afford patience. They're building for the long haul, and polished gems always take time. Ace Bailey just proved you can skip the job fair, shrug at corporate mixers, and still nail the corner office gig, as long as your talent shouts louder than your silence. Utah rolled the dice on potential over protocol, and now the pressure shifts from draft analysts to Ace himself. Will he reward the Jazz with highlight dunks and playoff dreams? Or will we be replaying draft night clips in a what could have been montage 5 years from now? Personally, I'm leaning toward the highlight reel, because confidence this bold feels contagious. But hey, that's just me. What about you? Drop your thoughts below. Did Utah grab future gold, or did Ace's workout snub send a red flag we're all ignoring? Will Ace Bailey be a Rookie of the Year running, or another NBA bust? Well, that's all I have for this video. I'll see you in the next one.